Hi, this is Vicki Harmon, one of your facilitators for the workshop. I'm here with other facilitators today, and we're going to do our week 2 welcome announcement that talks a little bit about what happened last week and then what's coming up this particular week. So we are in the studio, although we're not using any studio cameras or anything. The purpose of doing it the way we're doing it, we're using an iPad. And the purpose of doing it this way is that we want to show you how easy it is to use the tools that you have, make a video, upload it, and put it in your course so that you can increase your instructor presence in the course. And we'll be talking about instructor presence a little bit later in week 2. So we wanted to really demonstrate what you can do to put your face in front of the students in a casual, just kind of conversational mode. So ZMAP. This is a fun tool that we integrated several offerings of the workshop ago. And we have 2 people from Rochester or the Minnesota area there, probably some of our Mayo Clinic doctors or people who work there. We have somebody in California, Palo Alto, and North Carolina, and of course a couple of people from Texas. It seems like we always have someone from Texas. And so now I want to just move briefly to the hallway conversations and Muddiest Point. If you haven't checked into those particular discussion boards yet, take a look and see what kind of things people are posting. The hallway conversations, we have graciously had a couple of people point out errors in the materials or typos. We also had some questions about announcements and when do students get emails on their announcements. So there's really good information there. It's very specific as to when you're setting up your announcements in your course, the settings that you need to use to have students receive an email 100% certain, irregardless of the personal settings they have made on that. And the other thing I wanted to mention was YellowDig. So YellowDig is a discussion tool, somewhat like Facebook, more social, looks more up-to-date than perhaps the Blackboard discussions do. And this is the first time we've used that in this course. So we encourage you when you do your course evaluations, put something in there about YellowDig. Did you like it? Did you think it was a waste? Is it something you would think you would use perhaps for just a place for students to converse with each other, absent of points? We don't really recommend it in place of Blackboard discussions, but what kind of place do you see that that might have in your particular course? So that's it for me. I'm going to turn it over to Kenna, and she's going to talk to you about the discussion board that was about teaching online students. Kenna?
Thank you, Vicki. Good morning. In the Teaching Online Students discussion, we had lots of insights from your experiences as online students and instructors. We were looking for you to integrate the demographic information about non-traditional online students with your approach to teaching them. Above all, you expressed that by sitting in the student's seat, you're able to relate to them, which means that masterclass is working. Like you, our students have multiple competing obligations commanding their time and energy, plus their challenge with figuring out the technologies. This really drilled in the necessity of 3 main things when teaching online. First, humanizing yourself with video and personalized feedback. Second, making expectations abundantly clear, simple, and consistent, especially in assignment instructions. And third, being flexible and agile with student needs. Now Jessica is going to talk about the 3rd discussion, creating engaging discussions.
Hello, I'm Jessica, and I'd like to thank you all for your contributions in our discussion board surrounding creating engaging discussions. Many of you are interested in incorporating several ideas from last week, such as the use of open-ended questions in the discussion forum, creating controversy, and facilitating discussions around case studies. Tammy likes to use situational questions that do not have right or wrong answers. Margarita asks students to use one example from materials of the week to allow students some flexibility in their approach to discussions while also keeping them focused on the material. Many of you also mentioned the importance of allowing students to connect materials to their own lives or to activate previous knowledge. An example of this Mark provided an example of his method of planning discussions to activate previous knowledge. In his advanced doctoring course, students study multiple specialty areas over the course, giving it sort of a mini course feel. And so students are asked to apply knowledge gained from one specialty area previously covered to a new one. So for example, what from the cardiology unit would you be able to apply to what is being learned in the musculoskeletal unit? How about what not to do? A couple of examples are to avoid yes or no questions and to avoid the use of repeat back or essay-like questions where students are regurgitating knowledge. Writing engaging discussion questions is a challenge, and being present as the instructor also takes some thoughtful planning and is something to remember when you are planning the questions themselves. S. Spencer shared a great point about why not to use research questions in the discussion board, reminding us that the students' references would then really need to be checked for accuracy by the instructor, which would become very intensive time-wise in larger courses. Melanie and several others expressed interest in assigning students to smaller discussion groups. In week 2, you'll have the opportunity to participate in a VoiceThread activity where you share some of your own experiences, challenges, and tips surrounding not only discussions, but group activities as well. So we encourage you to continue the dialogue there. And up next, we have Brendan.
Hi, everyone. Thanks to everyone who joined last week's office hours. We have 2 optional office hours using Google Hangouts this week, Thursday at 2 p.m. and then Friday at 10 a.m. Arizona time. The Google Hangouts link is available on the announcements page. All grading for week 1 activities will be done by tomorrow night, and be sure to review our feedback on the course learning objective assignment. I also want to share a brief overview for week 2. In week 2, we'll focus on 2 main topics. The first topic is course design and the development process, and the second is how to integrate what you've learned in masterclass into your own courses and teaching practices. We'll also be using a few tools such as VoiceThread and Practice that you may find useful in your teaching if you're not using them already. At the end of week 2, please complete the workshop evaluation to share your suggestions and feedback. We do read everyone's comments, and these are very helpful as we continue to revise this workshop each semester. Thank you for your great work and contributions in week 1, and we're looking forward to week 2. We'll see you online.